What's up, world? It's your boy Ma. We're moving up, where we build, we help, and we impact for the glory of God and for the good of those we serve, man. I want to welcome you back to the channel and welcome you to this video right here, man. I get the privilege and a blessed opportunity to work with students and educators through my program Movement Up, where we provide student enrichment services and professional development trainings to help educators level up in their connection with students and make an impact and having the influence that they need in order to bring transformation in the lives of students. Man, I want to share a conversation I had with 3 teachers while they were on a lunch break, and it gave me a different perspective about something as simple as eye contact. The conversation was a reminder of how important self-awareness is, avoiding assumptions, asking the right questions, and making adjustments. And if we want to serve students, we got to be able to do those 4 things. Let's dive in. I was sitting with 3 teachers, and we started talking about a student that they were all struggling with, and some of your educators that you know how those conversations go, man. I just can't get through to him, or he shuts down in my class, or he seems totally disengaged. I shared a recent interaction I had with this student, and I mentioned something interesting. I noticed his engagement changed when I simply asked him to make eye contact with me. The shift was subtle, but it was there. Now, this sparked an eye-opening discussion. One of the teachers immediately said, "I would have been scared to death to make eye contact with an adult when I was a kid, because in her home, eye contact with an adult was a sign of disrespect." She said, "I could even get in trouble when I was a kid if I made eye contact with an adult." Then another teacher chimed in and she said, "That's so interesting, because in my family, it was the opposite. Eye contact in her family experience meant respect. It showed you were paying attention, listening, and fully engaged." And just like that, we uncovered something so critical. What we assume is normal behavior isn't always universal behavior. And this is where today's 4 lessons come in and play right here, man. The first lesson, self-awareness. What does eye contact mean in your culture? What does eye contact mean in your home and in your own personal experiences? Before we can expect students to respond in a certain way, we need to recognize the lenses through which we are looking at this behavior through. Our own expectations are based on how we grew up and our own life experiences. If I assume eye contact is a sign of engagement, but my student was raised to believe that eye contact is disrespectful, we're operating from 2 totally different playbooks. So ask yourself, what assumptions do I make based on my own background when I'm interacting with a student? That awareness is key. Speaking of assumptions, this brings us to lesson number 2. Avoid assumptions altogether. It's so easy to assume that when a student avoids eye contact, that they're being rude, disrespectful, or disinterested. But that is not always the case. This conversation with these teachers reminded me that when we assume, we close the door to understanding. And I also want to note that when we make assumptions, we also close the door to connection with those students. Instead of assuming a student is being defiant or disengaged, what if we approach the situation with curiosity instead? This leads to the next lesson, number 3. Ask questions. Instead of jumping to conclusions, what if we simply ask, "Hey, I've noticed you don't make eye contact much. Is that something that makes you uncomfortable?" Or what if we ask this, "What helps you feel more connected when we're talking?" Sometimes a student body language isn't about defiance. It's about comfort, it's about culture, or even past experiences. See, the best way to find out what it is by asking the questions. Asking questions cultivates connections. Making assumptions cultivates disconnection. And finally, lesson number 4, make adjustments. Once we have that awareness, once we stop assuming, and once we ask the right questions, then we can make informed adjustments. If I know a student is uncomfortable with direct eye contact, I might say, "Hey, you don't have to look at me, but I just want to make sure we're on the same page." Does that make sense to you? Small shifts in how we communicate can make all the difference in helping students feel seen, heard, valued, and safe. So there you have it. 4 key lessons I took away from a conversation that I had with 3 teachers on their lunch break. Number 1, self-awareness. Recognize what eye contact means in your culture or your upbringing. And it may not be eye contact. It may be some other behavior that you're looking at that is causing a disconnect between you and the student. And it may be that you're assuming it's normal behavior because it's normal for you. Not understanding that what's normal for you may not be universal for every student that you're serving. Avoid assumptions. Don't assume a student's behavior means what you think it means. Number 3, ask questions, man. Get curious instead of being judgmental. You know what I'm saying? That's a tough one to swallow, but it's necessary. And then final, make adjustments. Once you understand, adjust to better serve your students. This conversation really challenged me to think differently, and I hope it does the same for you. What's one assumption you have made about a student's behavior that you've had to rethink? Drop a comment below. I love to hear what your thoughts are, and other educators might too who are reading this. And if you found this valuable, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your people. Hit that notification bell, man, for more videos like this. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. Movement up in the building. Out.